What's going on, guys? Albie with Albie Gonzalez Fitness, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. Slapboxing Rich Piana versus Jason Genova. My opinion, people have been asking me, what do I think? Do I agree with what happened? Do I disagree? Well, guys, first things first. Before I wanted to give my opinion on this, I wanted to actually gather, as much information as I could. So I'm going to link in the bottom luimarco's interview with Rich Piana. That way you can hear Rich Piana's side of the story. Also, he interviewed Jason Genova, so you can hear Jason Genova's side of the story, because a lot of people are putting up these videos, but nobody's really talking about what Rich Piana had to say or Jason Genova really had to say. And those are the people who matter, because they knew what was going on more than anybody else. A lot of people are giving Rich Piana heat for what he did. I don't agree with him roughhousing Jason, but let's talk about the interview, and let's talk about Rich Piana's mindset going into this. And again, not agreeing with what he did, but let's talk about it. So first things first, if you watch the interview, one of the first things that you hear Rich Piana talk about is that in Rich Piana's head, he thought that Jason made multiple accounts, hundreds of accounts, to troll him. All right, now we know that's not true. We know that there's a group of trolls that basically use Jason so they can go do their thing, their dirt, and they use Jason as the face to blame it on. But in reality, Jason doesn't even have to do Order 66. These trolls are just gonna troll regardless, right? So Rich Piana doesn't know that. He thought that Jason Genova, and he says it in the interview, he was in the impression that Jason Genova was the one making hundreds of accounts, all right, to hurt his business. Now, if somebody's making hundreds of accounts and going through all that to hurt your business, it is completely different than if somebody just went on camera and talked shit about you, because people do that on YouTube all day. But it's to another level when somebody were to go make hundreds of accounts to try to hurt your business. So in Rich Piana's mind, that's what Jason Genova was doing, even though he wasn't. And luimarco corrects him and lets him know, like, no, there's a group of trolls that does this. Jason Genova is just like the face, and even Jason Blaha addresses that as well. So, but you have to think, in Rich Piana's mind, this is what's going on. So he has even more heat with Jason Genova, because he doesn't know that there's a group of these guys. He's thinking it's all Jason. That's the first thing. Second thing, he's thinking that, and here he sees Jason coming up to him with people holding cameras. So if you have a guy who you think has been going through all this trouble to hurt your business, and now he's rolling up to you with cameras, wouldn't you think that this guy's gonna try to come embarrass you, or come to try you, or just continue to troll you? Absolutely. So of course, Rich Piana has his guard up and starts talking to him. Now, I don't know if Rich Piana notices or knows that Jason Genova is not all there. For all we know, he probably thinks he's a normal guy. All right, so you also have to take that in consideration. So he starts talking to him. They end up slapboxing. Jason Genova does not agree to slapboxing in the beginning. You can tell by the video that he does feel a little forced, but he didn't want to do it. So I think Rich was just a little angry, but he does admit to that, and he kind of roughhouses him. He goes a little harder than he should have. But again, man, you have to think about Rich Piana's mentality. He's thinking that Jason's been doing all this, and he's rolling up with cameras to troll him even more. So a lot of people are not taking that into consideration. Again, I'm not agreeing that he should have done this. And the reason I don't agree that he should have done this is because Rich Piana, I mean, the guy makes a lot of money, has a huge business. He put that up for risk, I mean, he must have been really upset. But nevertheless, I don't agree with it. But you also have to think that, you have Marc Lobliner and Jason Blaha stating like, oh, we didn't, give Jason that much heat because we know that, he's not all there. But here's the thing, Rich Piana probably didn't know that, and Rich Piana also thought that Jason was making hundreds of accounts when it wasn't him, to hurt his business. And then another thing that I want to touch on is people have been blaming Nate Figueroa for not jumping in. Now, people are quick to you know, blame and talk shit about other people, but you really need to put yourself in that situation. If Nate is there recording and you're in front of Rich Piana, who again is this, you know, successful guy in the bodybuilding community, you don't think he's gonna do something like that. And when he asked Jason, like, hey, let's slap box, you're not thinking that he's gonna roughhouse him. You think he's probably gonna give him a few taps. You would not imagine that. So you can't blame Nate for not jumping in. I mean, it lasted 5 seconds. It was pretty fast, and maybe the last two ones were the ones where he got him pretty good, you know. So very little time to react there, you know. So you can't really blame people. The only thing that I would have said is, if I was in his position, is me knowing that Jason previously Order 66 him and trolled him, I would have probably been like, hey man, it's not a good idea to go meet Rich. He probably has heat with you and it probably wouldn't go too well. Or if we are gonna go meet him, let's not have the cameras out, because the thing is, when you confront somebody about something, especially something like that, and you have cameras out, man, it's gonna like make things more intense, because now everybody has to, you know, show up. If they would have came up to Rich, I'm sure, with no cameras and say, hey man, I'm sorry, I don't think Rich would have done that, because he didn't have to show anything, you know. But I don't know, maybe he would have still wanted to slap box. Maybe he would have been even worse, but who knows? We don't know. All right guys, well, that's my take on the Jason Genova Rich Piana incident. Again, link in the bottom for Luimarco's interview with Rich Piana and Jason Genova. Any comments, your opinions, leave them on the bottom. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe.
Spaced out.